This video is a level 2 checkpoint video for episodes 1, 2, and 3. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. Were you able to spot the continuation in this position? In this position, we can try to trap the queen, but ideally we would like to just attack the queen like this with the bishop, and then the queen will be trapped. But in this position, the queen can just run away. So ideally, to trap the queen, we need to first block the escape square. The escape square in this case could be like b5. You think about it like a door. You want to lock the door, sacrificing the piece here in this position with the knight. If they were to capture the knight, now you can trap the queen, and it will be a trade of 2 minor pieces for a queen, which will be pretty good for the white pieces. The best continuation probably for black would be to just capture the bishop to get some material back, but you will be winning as white here. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position. You may stop the video now. Were you able to spot the continuation in this position? So in this position, we can always look for checks, captures, attacks. Correct? So the first check, does it look pretty good? It does. It comes with a check. Then the king is pushed to f8. And here we have to find a good move here, a very precise move. We can give a check with the rook that is on the 7th rank. We have a battery of rooks. We give a check with the rook, and we also give a check with the bishop, so that they just don't capture the bishop back like this. So currently we have 2 options for the black pieces. If the black pieces were to move to e8, now you would just give a checkmate because the rook is covering all the way here. This rook is also covering the e8 square, and the bishop is protecting the rook, so the king cannot just capture the rook back. So what would be the other response? The other response would be to go king g8. With king g8, you can actually think about the bishop is covering the f8 square. So we can think of a back rank problem. We can sacrifice a rook. If they were to capture the rook, you have the other rook in the back, giving a checkmate to the king. There are no squares available for the king to run away, and the bishop is covering the f8 square. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position. You may stop the video now. Were you able to spot the continuation in this position? In this position, we can try to see that the queen is the one defending this rook here, right? So the best move in this position will be to actually grab the queen, because the queen was defending the rook. And now if you want to grab the queen back, and then you would just lose your rook immediately. In this position, if they were to just capture your rook, for example, here, instead of your queen can actually just grab a pawn and attack the bishop, and then probably win the game from here. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position. You may stop the video now. Were you able to spot the continuation in this position? In this position, we can always look for checks, captures, attacks, correct? Our checklist. The first thing will be to look into any checks that we have in the position. The check that we have here is like queen e8, check, forcing the king to move towards the center of the board, which it's always a good sign actually. So we should go ahead with this move, but we need to first calculate the whole line, correct? But here we're just bringing the king all the way in, and then we come with queen f7 check. We have a battery going on, and we have 2 responses. What if the king just goes back to where it was before? Then that would just be a checkmate in 1. Okay, so what if the king then starts running away for his life? Then we will continue with another check, covering all these squares, leading the king to only have 1 escape square for them. And then we just finish the game with bishop f7 checkmate. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position. You may stop the video now. Were you able to spot the continuation in this position? So we need to try to think of how many pieces are being defended by only 1 piece, right? So here the queen is defending, protecting the knight, but also the knight is protecting the bishop. So if we're able to grab one of those pieces, the other piece will be hanging, correct? So the best continuation here would be to just grab the knight. We can just grab the knight, If we grab the knight and the queen just grabs the bishop back, now we are able to capture the bishop on a6. The current position is white to move. Trying to find the best sequence in this position, you may stop the video now. We're able to spot the continuation in this position. In this position, we can see that the d5 knight is very strong because it's covering some key squares, the escaping route for the queen, so the queen cannot go back without being taken. So we can try to trap the queen in this position. But we start with knight b3. Knight b3, since the queen cannot go back, it can go forward. So the queen here only has a couple of squares. It has a4, and you can actually also capture the a2 pawn. Let's see, if the queen were to capture the a2 pawn, we can go ahead with knight c3, attacking the queen. This knight is covering a1. Now the pawn is covering here. Queen being attacked. This pawn, this square is also taken by the c3 knight. And a5 is also covered by this knight, so the queen would probably have to grab the knight like this to get something in return at least, right? So what if the queen goes to a4? If the queen goes to a4, it will be the same idea. So knight c3, the queen, if it cannot capture the pawn anymore, but the queen will try to go here to b4. But now we can just push the pawn forward, and the queen is now completely stuck. It cannot go anywhere without being taken. Here the queen will probably just grab the knight to damage some structure and get something in return. You will probably win the game, hopefully, as white.